All right, well, welcome back to the Queen
Yes,
of the Party Line. The,
I feel like I need a. We
you,
should have a secret handshake at this point, I
you
think.
know what? I do think you need. I think you should knit yourself a crown, or knit yourself a
Okay.
hat with a crown like motif or something, since you were the official Queen of the Party Line. And it was so funny for people who are listening in when I had a like 5 minutes to just to check with Tanis a couple days ago to make sure, that the tech was working and all that good stuff. And the first question that Tanis asked me was, "Am I still the queen?" Yes, Tanis,
Well, I
you are
mean,
still the queen.
you're really the queen, and I'll be your lady in waiting. How about that?
I'll be the queen of Planet Pearl, and you can be the queen of the party line. How's
Okay.
that? I want to make
Sounds
sure you get like full credit for that, since you have officially been here more than anybody else. And the very first time you were here, you were the yarn editor at Vogue Knitting, and you were here for
yeah.
one of their 60 quick somethings, right? So
The
one of
first one.
yeah,
Yeah, the very
yeah,
first, I believe. Yeah.
yeah. It's been a journey, and now I think you've been here. I don't know how many books has it been since, eight, something like that.
412.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, right.
yeah, 412. It probably feels like 412. And I think the thing is because you just know every cool person in the knitting world is that you get them to do these books, which you know I've
Right,
done
right.
books with other people's designs in them as well as mine, and it is kind of like herding cats, right?
Yeah.
It was like getting everything pulled together. I mean, so that's a job in and of itself. Kate says, "Wow, I know, Kate, isn't that crazy?" So actually, because I was trying to think back, it was like Capital Knits, Knit Local, From Mama
Knit
with
Architecture.
Love. Yeah, I mean, it's like,
Yeah, there's a lot.
yeah, there's a lot. There have been a lot. So, and then this series, this three skeins or less series that with has knits and it has crochet books as well. And I think Sharon Zintara has the modern baby crochet coming out.
Yes.
And
Thinking out.
is
Yeah,
it
I'm not
out?
sure.
Yeah, I think she's coming. I think she's coming to see us next month to talk about the
Okay.
crochet version of this, which I think it's everybody's got stash items. And I think what's really great about these three skeins books, especially like if you even just look at the cover on this, you can see that you don't need three skeins of one
Yeah.
color, right? You can mix and
Definitely go for the
match.
stash. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're really great for going through your stash. And baby projects, are just by their very nature are much smaller than adult projects. So unless you're knitting them with fingering weight yarn,
On yeah, 000 needles, that just seems so counterproductive to me for
it,
baby nails.
yeah, it does because it takes as long then as knitting a full size sweater for an adult
Right.
in
And if you don't
worsted weight
finish,
yarn. Oh
you know,
my gosh. I know the kid could be grown up and in college by the time you finish.
like maybe
So
it kind of swings back around for their child. I don't know.
yeah, it's a grandchild thing, even though if you started. So yeah, and Kate says the little boy sweater is on the cover. It's so cute, which I agree. And Kate says she loves to do baby garments because they're
Yeah, he's cute.
faster. Isn't he adorable? Yeah, he's faster than they're faster to do than adults, and you're not so concerned about foot, which is true because children tend to be kind of tube shaped.
Yeah, they're very geometric. Yeah.
Yeah,
Kind of,
so you're not worried about accommodating a large bust or, a wider hip or you're not at all concerned about that. They're relatively tubular. So now the decision to do this with babies, because I know the last time we had this, I think was accessories maybe.
yeah, three
The three
skeins or
skeins
less
or less was
accessories.
the
Yeah.
accessories, right? So babies is a great idea. Everybody knows someone with a baby if they don't have any of their own. So your little boy is hardly a baby anymore.
He just turned 5. Yeah. So
Man, I can't believe it. Boy's
I
gone
know.
fast, huh?
Pretty
So
old.
yeah, I can't believe that. So boy, that's shocking. Now I feel old. So the decision to do the babies seems to be kind of when you're going with small projects, accessories, of course, for grown-ups, that's the mittens, scarves, hats, that kind of thing. So babies is like a perfect thing to do when you've got less time and less yarn. They're great budget projects too.
They are, and they're also, good stash busters, like we were talking about. I'm constantly pulling, little bits for trim just to mix things up a little or throw in some Fair Isle, because you know how I feel about Fair Isle. So
Yes, I know, and you're responsible for my Fair Isle addiction as well. Once you taught me how to do it with two hands so that I could knit like the wind. So when I do Fair Isle, so I was glad to see so many like fun stripes and patterns.
I love Kids
And
in Stripes. Yeah, Kids
I
in Stripes
do.
look amazing. Yeah,
Yeah. So I was really glad to see kind of those mix of colors in the book as well, and some really really fresh color palettes, because just because they're kids doesn't mean their sweaters can't be fashion forward.
right. Well, in the pink and the blue, it's time to move away from that.
I
And
agree.
it's a very interesting thing because it was originally pink was for boys and blue was for girls, and there was an advertising campaign in like the 30s that switched them, and then that became the norm. There's a whole book on it. It's pretty dry read, but it's interesting.
Oh my,
It's
really?
even the yellow and the green. It's like let's just embrace the bold, bright colors. Kids love bright colors.
Yeah.
So do I. So I don't know. I like
Yeah.
the bright.
Well, and I think too, when you knit for children, you're really kind of knitting for the parents. I mean, because right, so your parents shouldn't have to look at boring knitwear for their children. So yeah, so it's really cute. Yeah, and Kate
Well,
says
we
she
should have
she
to knit
agrees. It
boys.
doesn't have to be pink and blue, you know. So let's look at some cool kids stuff from the book,
Okay.
which I actually like this cover sweater for myself, that little kimono shape. I
Yeah, it's
I just
cute.
always love that shape of the sweater, and for me the yellow tipping on that I-cord bind off is just as it's just a really it's a really sharp sweater. It was actually one of my
Yeah,
favorite things.
yellow. Yeah, yellow
Yeah,
and gray.
isn't that
I
pretty?
like that shape too because cardigans with kids, too many buttons. You want them to stay warm. A lot of them have like the sensory issues with the neck, so I like kind of a wrap kimono. Yeah,
Yeah,
just modern, cute, clean.
yes, and very grown up, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, she's a very grown up look for a girl or a boy, either one.
yep.
Actually, yeah, if you can.
Most of the garments in the book are unisex, which was important to me. Um, because some parents don't want to know what they're having, which really presents knitting challenges. Um, but also, so many people have multiple children, and you want and hope that your gifts kind of make it through the entire family, and then get passed to the cousins, and then the friend. And every time I knit something for a kid, I hope that it outlives me and kind of goes out into the world for generations. So who cares if it's for a girl or a boy? So a lot of them, I really wanted that unisex vibe to kind of shine through.
Yeah, and I think this is a perfect example of this, and it's the fox sweater. And I think if people look, you'll see there's little fox eyes and a little fox nose in the zigzag, which I think is just adorable. It's so clever,
Yeah, it's clever.
without having to do like an Intarsia fox face kind of thing.
Tarja and I are not friends. You will never see Intarja in one of my books. We're just not. It's okay. You want to be
Yeah.
friends with everyone.
You don't have to. That's true. That's true. So, but this is so adorable. Tell us who did this design.
Um, I need to remember her name. I used a lot of new people in this book,
I
people that I
noticed that.
had wanted to work with, or hadn't had a chance, whether our schedules just didn't fit. Of course, I can't find the page that book is on.
It should be near the front because these would be
Yeah,
in chronological.
sorry, I'm clearly under caffeinated, or maybe I've had too much. I don't know. Oh yeah, that's Katerina Blanchard. Yeah, and she proposed this sketch, and it was adorable. But even in real life, it's so cute, and
Yeah.
everyone likes this. And there's a lot of color work in this book without necessarily being traditional color work. So, like we were talking about the stripes, so there it might be a subtle color shift in stripes because some people don't like Fair Isle, but it's a nice way to bring in some more color.
Yeah, and I think one of the designs we'll show later is actually even mosaic knitting in a kid's sweater, which is like the quick way to get a lot of bang for your buck on color
That's
work.
what this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love mosaic knitting. It's so much. I was teaching it last night. I love it.
Yeah, it's really pretty. And I just like the detail on this, like even the little like rib trim that comes up from the middle of the fox head and it's in the detailing on the raglan. It's just all those little things that just make it special. This is a really cute set for a boy or a girl. It's really
Yeah.
cute. And I loved the sweater with the little kangaroo pocket with the polka dots on it. I think this
This
was
is my favorite one.
yeah,
Yeah.
and a
Oh,
perfect example of just a little bit of that pop of that kind of that bright color. And like I would wear this sweater if it were adult size. It's really
I think she
cute.
did sort of an adult version later for herself, the
Uh-huh.
designer. So yeah, you could knit one for yourself.
Yeah, I like it. So, oh yeah, Kate says she didn't see that it was a pocket. Now she wants to make this for her son. I mean, what kid wouldn't like this? And I think kids really like those kangaroo pockets as well.
Yeah, and they shove so much weird stuff in like their pant pockets and
Oh yeah.
any shirt pocket. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very cute. Who did this design?
That's Suvi Simila, which she's done probably something in almost all of my books. I love her aesthetic and I chose the colors, but I always make sure everybody's happy with the colors because I want the knitting to be a pleasurable experience, like, oh, I hate this yarn, I hate this color.
Yeah.
It's great, so it's her I just love the look of all her patterns. She cannot design anything bad. She's a
Yeah.
fantastic designer.
And I think she has a few of them in this book.
Uh,
So
yeah, I think, yeah.
yeah. So Kate says her son has rocks in every pocket, which is really better than having frogs in every pocket. I mean, in the ultimate scheme of things, if you're the one who has to do the laundry.
There's a lot of rocks and matchbox cars in our house and pockets. Yeah.
Yeah, you always got to check before you do the laundry. And
Absolutely.
and this was what I really loved about this, not just the striped sleeves, which I think are so pretty, but for kids to have things that are easy to get over their heads, you
Yeah. Kids
know.
have weird heads. They're like lollipops with the giant heads and the little bodies.
Exactly. Who did this design? This is so pretty.
This is Nadia Crescon-Lechnier. She's a French designer. And yeah, I
So
love
pretty.
that, like the detail on it's on both, no, it's just on one side.
Yeah.
But, again, with the unisex, and you could really change it up and, maybe make it blue and white if you wanted to go more literal with the sky and the cloud. It's a little cloud kind of applique on top. And
Yeah.
it's just cute.
Very cute. It's adorable. So, and this I thought was so clever. It's like a onesie for a slightly older child. I don't know how.
Yeah, the little romper. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
cute. And it's reversible. You can wear the neck buttoned in the front or the back. So it's
Oh,
cute.
yeah, and also easy to get in and out of, which I remember when my son was little trying to, kids just hate to have tight things pulled over their heads. I mean, well, who doesn't, really?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't like it either.
No, I don't like it either. I have a big head and a lot of hair, so I don't like tight things pulled over my head either, but this way you don't have to wrestle them, which is
Yeah.
right. Anything that
Well, and
keeps you
it's
from
really
having to wrestle.
cute. It's easy to get on and off. The crotch area is buttoned, so it's not a production to take them out of it. Like if you have to change a diaper or help them to the bathroom, and you could use up stash by making this stripe a whole bunch of different colors. Or I think it's adorable. It's really cute.
Yeah, Susan had a question. She said, "Did she see the design on the front of the last sweater?" And yeah, you see, there's like a little
Yeah.
embroidered cloud on the front of that.
It's called the nuage pullover, which I think means cloud in French. Not sure. I took a lot of years of French, not a whole lot stayed with me, but I think it
Yeah,
means
I've been brushing mine up because I'm going back this year, but I don't remember
it's
what cloud is. But yeah, it's absolutely adorable. And then Susan wants to know if it's in duplicate stitch. It looks like it's in split stitch or something.
crocheted on top. I'm looking for the
Oh, it's like a chain stitch on
yeah,
top.
yeah, it's an embroidered chain stitch, but you could easily duplicate stitch on top if you weren't comfortable with the crochet hook. or you could even knit it in, in Tarja style. So maybe that'd be cute.
In Tarja style.
No.
I know. It happens to the best of us. What can I say? Yeah, it is adorable. Susan says it's adorable. I agree. And then this was what I was talking about with the mosaic stitch on the bottom of the sweater. It just
as the
so
polka
grown
dot.
up, right? It looks so grown up. And, this is a sweater an adult would wear. It's really, really cute.
Well, in the mosaic, the slip stitch color work doesn't start till after you split for the sleeves. So it's kind of nice. You don't have to keep track of so much. Kind of do the top part, and then once you tie the sleeves off, you do the mosaic work. So it's cute, very cute.
Yeah, really, really pretty. Yeah, Mary S. says that the colors, the design, it's simply perfect, which I agree. It's really adorable. And Susan said she would add buttons on the shoulder to this one, which you could do. Well, this one's knitted top down too, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Just like mommy's sweaters.
They're all pretty. The goal is not to make them fussy. The whole time I have a mantra for each book, and this one was fuss free, because you don't want to spend 5 years knitting a super complicated sweat. They're also designed to be livable. Like having a 5-year-old and you have kids. It's you don't want to put them in a sweater and tell them not to move. That's ridiculous.
Or I'm sorry, but you can't eat, you can't drink. It's I mean they live in their clothes. Their kids are very hard on their clothes, and
just because it's homemade doesn't. I mean, they're precious, but they don't have to be precious.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect my kid to come home dirty. I like it when he's filthy. He had a good day at school. And I try to use a lot of superwash, so it's not an issue if the sweater's covered in Play-Doh. Chuck it in the wash. It's okay.
Yeah, and especially if you're giving them as gifts. I think the last thing you want to do is give somebody a gift that is going to require a lot of effort and attention to take care of.
Right. Yeah.
Your parents got enough stuff to do.
Yeah.
They don't need to worry about hand washing, in the sink and laying it flat to dry and blocking it back into place. Mm-hmm. No, not so much. But yeah, she looks very grown up, and Susan said
she does. Yeah,
she looks very grown up. This is so cute, and this looks like a pretty quick knit. I mean, despite the fact there's some cabling going on, it's kind of the work part is pretty condensed, and the rest of it is like garter and stockinette. This is really a cute piece, because I could see a little girl wearing this like with rompers, and as she gets taller, then we move to leggings, and very
it's top down. There's no finishing in this, other than there's a little like an eyelet, like a keyhole in the back with a button, but other than there's no finishing. And they're also baby things are such a good way to try a new technique. If you're afraid of cables, this is not all over cable. There's just like a panel. It's a good way to try a new technique, baby garments, I think. So
yeah, really, really cute. Yeah, Susan says she loves this as a dress or a top too. And I think this is one of the things as the child gets taller, there's still a use for it. Yeah, absolutely.
Girls can get away with that a lot more than boys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, because the dress thing is kind of not going to happen. So who did this design? This is really precious, and not precious in a bad way.
Tega Hilliard. She does a lot of really cute children's things.
Yeah, very, very, very pretty. And Kate says she needs this book. The projects are so cute, and she sees a lot of Christmas gifts in this book.
Now it's time to start knitting for the holidays.
I hate to see it, but we're halfway through May.
Yep.
And the one year I actually got all of my Christmas gifts knit in time, I started the day after Christmas the year before. So it is really not too early to start thinking about, especially if you got more than one person to knit for.
Well, and you'll be laughing come November where everyone is freaking out and combing through their stash and what am I going to knit, and that person's allergic to this and they hate that color, and you can sit back and relax and watch everyone else.
And everybody else is knitting washcloths for gifts because they're out of time. So yeah, so you can sit back and feel smug.
Yes,
Exactly. The year I did that, I did feel smug. So
I think you still feel smug about
I
it.
do. I do. I felt really smug, especially, well, this year, my daughter in law's sweater that I knitted her for Christmas, I mailed to her about a month ago. So it was very late. It was
I,
very
you
late
know,
this year.
Christmas is cyclical. It's coming back around.
You always need a
So,
sweater.
yeah.
So I look at it. You'll wear it next year. Anyway, so this, because I don't knit toys. Well, I don't really have anybody to knit toys for, but if I had someone to knit toys for, this would definitely be at the top of my list. This is so cute. Who
I love
designed this?
This is Rebecca Danger, who's kind of known for, she did like Monster Nursery. She's known for her really cool, this is, speaking of smug, they just look so smug sitting in that chair. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
And, they're so cute. And I like the safety eyes and the embroidery. They're safe toys. There's nothing to chew off. The safety eyes cannot come off. And the stripes are really cute. And you could even add like a pocket on the big guy and stuff the little guy in there. And,
Oh,
yeah,
wouldn't that be cute?
you're so popular.
I know. Only when I'm broadcasting. Yeah, and I love the color palette on this. It's such a great combination with the greens and blue and brown. It's really really sharp. Yeah, and Mary S says she sees one for her and one for each grandchild, which I
Absolutely.
I agree. So, but yeah, these are so cute, and I just love her name. I
Yeah.
When I picked a superhero name for myself, it was Danger Girl, and so when I saw her name, I was like, oh man, that's the name I should have been born with. But this is just these are really adorable, and yeah, I think this would be appreciated by parents and children. It's
Yeah.
very cute.
Well, and choosing the colors is probably my second favorite thing. I love color, and you're not only looking at color in each project, but as a collection. I think you and I have talked about the colors that we love before. I'm always like
Mhm.
green, everything green. So
Yeah.
I always try to rein it in, but I also have really gotten into like bright pops of color with neutrals lately. So it's so much fun to pick the colors. So I think that also makes it a little more modern, stepping away from that pink and the blue. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's you know, I wouldn't put my kid in blue all the time. I don't think he'd want to be in blue all the time.
No, but and I think the interesting thing too is, especially when you're going with projects that are really could be for boys or for girls, is that you didn't stick with just the pastel yellow, the pastel green. I mean,
Yeah.
the bright colors really, just bring a different dimension to it. And yeah, this is so cute. And you're so funny because you're like green everything. And for me, it's like anything but green. So, it's like everybody has their thing.
Yep.
So
Got the
yeah,
kryptonite color. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So, and here's another adorable little tunic in another show where you see how like that pop of bright against a more
Yeah.
neutral color.
Go with the white. This pink is called Psycho Barbie, which I love the name. And there was a little tiny bit left over, and I made myself a striped scarf and took the little bit extra. But I always kind of like, ha ha ha, Psycho Barbie. I don't know. It's such a great color. It is the brightest pink I've ever seen in my life.
It
I love
is,
it.
yeah, yeah. Kate says it's a good name for the pink.
Yeah.
It is, it's like neon. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and up against that kind of pale gray lilac color, it's really sharp.
They complement each other. The neutral with the bright. If you have a lot of bright in your stash, there's even this thing I'm knitting now, like crazy rainbow, but it's got pale gray, and they play well with each other. So,
Yeah, very nice. And another project that's easy to get on and off over the head.
and you could even make the button band shorter if you wanted. There's a lot of easy ways to modify almost everything in this book. Whether it's sleeve length, um, length of the body, because all kids are different. Some kids like short sleeves. Easy to change that.
Yeah.
So I like that.
Yeah, and if you're doing it for a boy, then maybe not the tunic length, that you would take a couple inches
Right.
off it and it would be more hip length and
Like a fold over collar. Yeah, there's all sorts of things you can do to change it.
yeah. And so then we have your projects in the book.
Yeah, I always try
And
to get a couple in there too.
well, there's got to be some Feral Isle in there, right?
Yeah, I usually reserve that for myself. Yeah.
There you go. So these unisex caps are cute, and I love that you show the top of this hat so you can see
Yeah, the top
how
is
the decrease makes a beautiful pattern across the top of the hat. So
the
cute.
crown decreases often don't get a whole lot of airtime's not the right word, but a lot of people don't make them fun. And I think they should be as fun as the front.
Yeah.
So I like to play with the backs of hats too.
Well, and especially with kids, because people are going to see the tops of their heads,
Right.
right?
For sure.
Because they're little. I mean, if you're 6'4", the odds of anybody seeing the top of your head that isn't in an airplane or flying a drone is pretty slim. But for kids, everybody sees the top of their head.
Yes, true.
Yeah, so you want to make the top of the hat cute. Yeah, and Kate says she loves the color selection, which, I wouldn't even have to see your name to know this was you, because the colors are you always do such an interesting mix of colors in your projects, which, yeah, and Lily says she just loves the top of the hats, and yeah, it's almost like a pinwheel on tops of their
Yeah.
little heads. So,
You
and
can
then,
probably grab that loop and like pull it.
yeah, I did that on some hats for my nieces and nephews, and it's good for the parents. It's like something to grab onto. So, and then, I think you can't have too many hand knit blankets, whether you're an adult or a child. There's something about wrapping up in something that was knit by somebody who loves you.
I agree. And there's not a lot of blankets in here. It's kind of funny. I usually what I end up knitting for my own books is stuff where I think there's almost a hole. Like we didn't have any, pretty easy Fair Isle hats. And I'm always very careful not to make it all baby blankets because a lot of baby books are, 12 blankets and like two sweaters. And I often knit baby blankets for various reasons. A lot of the reason is usually busting stash. But and also I think every little kid should have their own blanket. But I was kind of going through like we don't have a classic cable baby blanket. I'll do it. So it's nice to throw one in there.
Yeah, and children become so attached to them. And I
Yeah.
guess my niece's sister-in-law or cousin-in-law or somebody crocheted a baby blanket for her daughter who just turned 5, and it's all but in shreds because
Yeah.
she has slept with that blanket for 5 years,
And that's what
and
you hope for, right? When you make it. Oh, God, I hope they
yes,
love this. Yeah.
except now she's very upset because my niece said, do you think you could fix this? And I was like,
Yeah. Unless I
no.
remake it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would have to make you a whole new one. Because when she said, maybe Aunt Beth can fix it, and she said, yes, Aunt Beth can fix it. And unfortunately, Aunt Beth can't fix it. It's beyond
Yeah.
hope. So, but they do become very, very attached. And I think that's also kind of a lesson about making sure you use really durable
Yeah.
yarn on their blankies, because they're going to be hanging on to them for a long time,
And dragging them everywhere.
through everything and throwing up on them. And I mean, it's just, yeah. But it's funny because when I do blankets for adults too, they tell me when they're sick, that's what they go for, is they go for that
Oh,
hand knit blanket and they wrap it up and they feel loved. And so I think there's something really special about giving someone a blanket like
yeah, there's
that.
nothing like a hand blanket. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Even though, especially adult size, they tend to be a lot of work. I want this for me. When I saw this in the book, I was like, oh no, I totally want that in an adult size. It is,
Like a leg for us, right?
yeah, exactly. It'll probably fit from the underarm, maybe halfway to the wrist. I mean, it's just, yeah, yeah. And Kate says it's so modern and chic. And I think, first of all, black and white is just really huge anyway. The summer is
Yeah.
like it's the go-to thing, but it's classic. Black and white is classic, and it's just the chevron and that little kind of almost where it makes the turn, where it has almost, it looks like arrows, and it's just so cute.
It's cute.
I want
Well, when I
this.
was presenting my idea for this book to interweave, this was kind of what I had sketched out in black and white as, modern aesthetic, very graphic, bold, um, not fussy. And a lot of times the stitch work doing the work for you, that looks like it could be Fair Isle, but it's the increases and the decreases that are
Mhm.
pulling the chevron. So it's, and the same with the edge. If you've never done this kind of work, the edge will naturally zigzag like that because of the pull and the push of the increases and decreases. So I like things that look like you've done a lot more work than you actually have
Oh yeah, don't
in
we
the picture
all?
side. So
Yeah, a
yeah,
lot. Yeah, so you get a lot more credit than you might necessarily need.
we just, the fact that hand knitters make anything when most people would go to Target, which there's nothing wrong with going to Target and buying a
No.
baby gift. Some people get hand knit, some people don't. That's pretty amazing to make something out of a ball of yarn, I think. It's a pretty incredible talent.
Yeah, I agree. And there's just something really really special about that hand crafted things. I call them handcrafted instead of homemade, but they're, it's because they know it's especially if it's somebody who understands it, because I don't do this for people who don't get
Right.
it, but it's
Yeah.
really the gift of your time and your love
Mm,
more so than it's a gift of a thing. And I think
agreed. Yeah.
that's what makes it really special. And Kate had a question. She said, "Did you design all these or asked for submissions from the designers you selected?"
Um, I asked specific people who I wanted to be part of the book, and I usually ask for 3 sketches and kind of choose. In most cases, it was one. A couple people have more than one design, or if some people I need extra help, I might say I want a zigzag tunicky kind of dress, and I would hope that it would be black and white. Some people need no direction, but if I need to set boundaries because I don't, again, want all baby blankets or all tunics. I did a Pinterest board that I kind of sent out for inspiration, along with a lot of text for what I was looking for. I try to be as clear as possible so we're all, because while my name is on it, I don't see it as my book. I see it as our book, everybody who worked on it. So I want everybody to be happy and understand, and it's a collection. It is 23 patterns, but it's also a cohesive collection. So they have to kind of play well together too.
Yeah. Tricia says this looks like a Missoni dress,
It
which
does,
it
yeah.
does. Yeah, right. It does. It looks like a Missoni knit dress, which is really crazy. So, and Susan says, the knitting thing for our gifts, it's a magical power, which I agree. It is a
Definitely.
magical power.
Yeah.
So,
Harry Potter is nothing on us. We can
yeah,
knit.
we can knit. We can knit. We're our own superheroes. We can knit. So
Well,
this
you're
is,
Danger Girl, right? Or
I'm
whatever.
Danger Girl, right? So,
Like the Stitch Witch or something. I don't know.
yeah,
That's not a really good superhero name.
yeah.
I'll work.
You'll have to work on that. You work on your superhero name. So, I actually named myself Danger Girl when I started playing golf because virtually everybody else on the course was in danger anyway. But so so this is this cute little boy sweater from the cover, and another one that has the buttons across the shoulders to make it easy to get in and out, and it's not like up right on his neck and rubbing on him. He's got a
Oh,
little
kids don't
rub
like
there.
stuff
Mm-mm.
around their necks. I love this kid's little belly. It's like he's
Yeah.
busting his little gut out of the sweater. He's so cute.
Who designed this one? It's adorable.
This one's Julie Party. And she, again, all these people I had either kind of stalked in a good way, I guess, on Ravelry, or was a longtime admirer of their work. Some people are incredible at kids designs, or I'd worked together before and really enjoyed the experience. And she was another one who just had really great kids designs.
Yeah, so cute. And obviously, this child likes the sweater because
Yeah.
he's very happy. Like he's really
And it's
happy.
got little elbow, like those little man elbow patch things
Oh
too.
no, I can see just the edge of it there in the
Yes.
picture.
Yeah. Which,
Uh,
you could leave off too. Again, it's all about finishing the sweater to suit your child or the child you're knitting for's needs, because not every kid is the same.
yeah, and if you're stash busting, you could always do the elbow patches in another color too,
Yeah.
right?
Like
So
alternate those stripes, get rid of all that yarn you've got lying around.
why not? That's why we kept it, right? Because we knew we were going to need it someday.
And
Yeah,
I'm
and
taking it with me.
yeah, yes. Lily said her grandson hates things that are close to his neck, and this is perfect. Which I agree. I don't. They don't like anything rubbing on them, which
Right.
I don't either. But you know,
This
I'm
one's cute.
kind of weird. This, and I think what I was really drawn to on this was the color palette, and I love that the stripes have a little jiggle at the end. They're almost
Yeah.
right. So
They, they almost look like that heart monitor thing.
exactly. Exactly. But yeah, the color palette on this is so grown up and so modern and so not like cutesy kids kind of sweater.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice. Who
This is
designed
another
this?
one. This is Helen Rose. But
Yeah.
this is another one that you could knit longer, and as the typically a boy is in a vest, but not always, they could kind of grow with it too.
Yeah. And then when they grow out of it, then you could wear it as like a little crop sweater yourself.
An extremely cropped sweater. That's
Extremely
more
crop
like
sweater.
my friend would call that like a boob holder. I mean, that would like cover nothing,
Yeah, it'd be bright. Yeah, it would not cover much. But
So,
yeah, and Kate says she likes it. It's just not a traditional stripe. And I think
yeah,
yeah, it's just like the little bit of design detail that really makes this not a sweater that you would find at, J.C. Penney's or Macy's or it's really adorable. And the
and you could
colors.
add more. You could keep adding stripes all the way down. There's only three, but you could start at the bottom and yeah, color
Stripe
them.
yourself crazy.
Yeah,
Exactly. So, well, that there's 23 designs, and I think I only showed 12 to give you an idea. If you want to see the rest of them, of course, you're going to be able to head on over, and there are places that you can see more of what's happening with Tanis, who honestly, Tanis, I think you are the hardest working woman in the knitting world, and with a small child, and I know you just don't sleep, which is it. So yeah, and Trisha like hit it right on the head. She said the designs are sophisticated with great color choices and kind of and non-traditional in kind of the approach to children's wear, which is fantastic.
yeah.
So, but here's people are going to follow you everywhere. And people who are in the room live, the people who are going to watch the video later aren't going to see this, is there are stacks of fabric on shelves
Oh
behind
yeah,
you, right?
that's a little
Your
bit. It's
fabric
well,
stash.
I mean, it goes on. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and
goes on.
for those who haven't been to one of your events here on Planet Purple before and don't know, you can see, well, if you follow Tanis on tanisknits.com, you'll see that Tanis also sells on Etsy. And I think we're just going
Not
to have to
knitting, oddly enough.
no, we're just going to have to go look. Is that you'll see that Tanis has a Etsy shop where you can find all these fantastic sewn, um, which explains the fabric. These adorable project bags for
And any
crafters.
excuse to stash, fabric, yarn, stash it up, right?
Oh my gosh, yes, especially like the hula dancers. So, but you can shop the site there. That mustache bag is just too funny. And these actually make great gift bags too, which they're like multi-purpose. There are 112 items currently
I'm
in
working on more,
in your
always.
shop. I know. I know. It's almost exhausting just to talk to you. So, but you can also follow Tanis on Twitter as Tanis Knits, oddly enough. And one of my favorite places to hang out when I have like all day and nothing to do because it just sucks me in and it's hard to get back out. Is
Crazy times like
it's Pinterest, so you can see all of the things that are inspiring. Oh, those cookies look really good. Are inspiring Tanis.
focus, focus.
I know. I've been on Weight Watch. I'm almost 5 months on Weight Watchers. I haven't had a cookie in 5 months. But those look really good, and those are
Buy yourself some yarn instead.
yeah, they're my favorite cookies. I when I came up to the mountains, I actually shipped 2 crates of yarn ahead of me because I just had no idea what I was going to want to knit. But it's always hard to pack
There's always
anywhere, right? Because you don't know what you're going to feel like knitting next. Right? So, and
you
then
have to do some baby stuff.
oh God, no. And actually, for people who are watching this later, Tanis was showing this hat that she's working on, which you can't see because you won't be able to see her video live, but you will see a couple pictures here of the hat in
Yeah,
progress.
followed me over the week. I had a friend visiting, and it kind of came with us wherever we went.
Yeah, this on Tanis's Instagram page here, so that you can see
Oh, there's my
uh,
kid.
Tanis's crazy life. So, and all the things that are going on there. That's such a cute picture of your family. Um, and then for people who are on Ravelry, you can also see the other projects in the book because you'll see on Tanis's designer page, which oddly enough is called Tanis Gray, you'll see projects from all the books.
Look at all the Fair Isle. Yay!
Yeah, there's a lot of Fair Isle in here. Bless your heart. I just
From
love
one
Fair
addict
Isle.
to another.
Yeah, exactly. You're my dealer, so it all works out. So 404
Who's the best
designs.
addict for you, Beth?
Yeah, I know. You only wish the best for me. I get that. So yeah, and Susan says she loves the Greta hat. Did I pass it? Is it on this page?
Yeah, it's the little itty bitties from Lux Adorna. I just did matching wristers for them for that, so those will be out
Oh.
soon.
Well,
Third row. Yeah.
oh, there it is. Yeah. Oof. So yeah, that's my idea of a hat. So and then also, we're going to let's see, what do I have here? Oh, we're going to give away a hat today live in the event. We're also going to give away a hat starting tomorrow on Planet Pearl's Facebook page.
Nice.
So if you don't win today, you don't win.
A hat or a book?
Oh, the book. Sorry, I got stuck on hats.
I was
We're
supposed to
giving
knit some
away
hats.
no, you don't have to knit anybody a hat. I swear to you. But we're going to give away a book. Goodness. See, I was staring at that hat and then I had like hats on my brain. Is that we're giving away a book during the event. Did they not tell you at Interweave that you're supposed to knit a hat for the winner?
I have one almost done. Right?
Is that we're going to give away a book during the event. We're also going to give away one on Facebook. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. Starting tomorrow morning and running through the weekend. But
Nice.
if you don't win, or you just don't ever consider yourself like a lucky person, and you don't think you're going to win, is that first call your local yarn store and ask for the book because we always want to keep them in business. We want to support them.
Totally. Yep.
And yeah, absolutely, because,
Because they feed our habit, and we
they
like that.
do. They do. And, where else are we going to go when we need yarn and we need it now? So, like, not 2 days from now, not a week from now, but we need it now. You got to go to a yarn store. So, anyway, so call them first. And if they don't have it, chastise them. And then you can come over to Planet Pearl's book page and click on Modern Baby Knits, 3 skeins or less. And you'll see there's a little link there where it'll take you to Amazon and we get a little commission, which helps us pay for like go to meetings so we can bring these events. And then tomorrow at 8 in the morning, it's already posted up. It's scheduled, so I don't have to actually be up at 8 in the morning, although I will be. But I won't be online at 8 in the morning, is that you'll have an opportunity to win another book. So But I really want to say thank you, Tanis, from taking time out from your schedule,
Yeah,
which
thanks
is
for always. Thanks
totally
for having
awe.
me.
So this book is so cute. Now, are you working on some new project now other than, putting
Yeah.
another 100 project bags into your Etsy store and teaching on Craftsy and, all the others, the things that you just do in your spare time?
Yep. About to start another book with somebody new, so that's exciting. And it's just knitting. I am prepping for a craftsy class, and you know, just freelance, lots and lots of freelance. My son goes to full day kindergarten in the fall, and it's this magical horizon where I'll have, like a full work day.
Oh my
I've been
gosh.
off in the distance for so long. It's like the promised land. I'm pretty excited about that. So
Yeah, I think there's a couple of red letter days when your kids are small. One is the day that you get them out of diapers because it
yep.
totally changes your budget.
I was
And
gonna
the
say I need more money for yarn.
Yeah, exactly. And then once they start full-time school, because you get your day back, and
Yeah,
if they're in public school, it makes a huge difference in your budget. So there's like a couple of really big red letter days. So you got one coming up in the fall.
yeah,
Yay.
yeah.
So
We're going
now,
on vacation. Yeah, it'll be a
yeah,
nice summer.
you can stop slacking.
I know. I'll work on it.
Okay.
Nice
All right.
hope.
Yeah, and Susan said, and then when they drive, which is true, once
Oh,
they
that's
can actually
terrifying.
take themselves everywhere.
Yeah,
So
that also sounds terrifying. But yeah,
yeah, yeah. But by then you'll be glad they're driving. Trust me.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Barbara says she loves the designs, and Kate says
Thanks.
thanks for sharing. It's a beautiful book, which I agree. And she can't wait to see your new stuff coming out, which, you'll be back.
I always am. I'm like a
Yeah.
bad penny. I always
You
show up
keep-
again.
well, you got to keep your ranking as the queen of the party line. You can't let anybody sneak up on you.
This is true. Yeah,
Yeah.
you'll have to send me an email if we're getting close.
Oh yeah, exactly. I'll give you a heads up. So thanks, Tanis, and everybody stick around because Tanis is going to help me give away a book.
Yes.
And I think next week I have Robin Chichula is coming to talk about her new
Great.
book, Vintage Modern Crochet or Modern Vintage Crochet. It's one of those two, but it's
It's
vintage
vintage.
and modern or
Yep.
modern and vintage, but it is crochet. So Robin will be here next Wednesday at our usual time at noon. So you'll want to check back next week as well because we're going to have two chances to win her new book as well. So hang around. Thank you, Tanis. I really
Thank you,
appreciate
Beth.
it.
Thank you, everybody.
It's always good to see you.
You too.